Welcome, everybody. Thanks for joining us today. LevelMDiecast, episode 56 in the series. Diecast haul time. We got all kinds of fun stuff today. We're going to do things a little bit weird. We're going to have a little bit of editing at the beginning because normally we roll with everything and we just cut it all open. But these things are going to take forever. I have a bunch of these action packs. I'm getting closer and closer to having all of them. I haven't covered all of them on the channel because I've had stuff in the collection for a long time, but this is one of the new additions, Toy Story 2 for Al's Toy Barn. That is Al's custom cruiser. I do believe that's the only time they ever used that casting. Of course, it comes with Woody and the chick and the prospector guy, the donkey. Of course, Buzz Lightyear as figures. There is a whole assortment of randomness here in the back. I've actually never seen that set. I don't know if that one ever released, Grand Prix Racing, or this one, the White House. I've never seen that one either. But we do have this one. We're going to crack that one open. I think I have that one somewhere. Titanic. I don't know if I've ever seen that either. There's some sets on here I don't think I've ever seen. Super Bikes as well. I don't think I've ever seen that. We also have Toy Story, the other Toy Story one. So we're going to take care of that one too. So we're just going to showcase this real quick. And then I'm going to crack them all open. And then we'll bring them back to take a look at the actual models. I think will be the easiest way to do it. Original Toy Story here. Woody and, of course, Buzz Lightyear with RC car, and then of course a Babyface, the demonic spider-looking deal that was Sid's little abomination of toys. There is some other ones here. These are newer than the other one. The other one was actually older, which is weird, which doesn't make no sense. But this one looks interesting. I think all of these sets have been released. This set didn't look as good as that does as on the back of the box. I can tell you that. Not even remotely close. But that one was a pretty good set. That JPL Mars Rover. So set that to the side. We also have the Rugrats movie. This is the original version of the Reptar wagon. Hot Wheels did redo it for Retro Entertainment, but it is a completely different casting, 100%. You do have Tommy right there. There's Stewie, and I forget what the baby's name, but there's the baby in there. Same era that we were just looking at, so these ones kind of go hand in hand for these two particular. And then we do have the Home Improvement one as well. This one has a one-and-done casting with the Dixie Chopper, the ridiculous, overly powered ride-on lawnmower with Tim Allen there. And then Al over here with the 33 Ford convertible, and then a little bit of a toolbox in the back. It says Binford on it. Same era as the other one. This is a different wave, though. I think all of these ones have come out, so I think all these were released. I do have a couple of those as well. And then the last one here, not 100% sure how I felt on this one, but I thought it was kind of cool, the little figure where the guy's hugging the trophy girl, and then, of course, the tree back here. And then it comes with some chutes. Those are just the standard dragsters, but those are exclusive to the pack. They call them Quarter Warrior. It's kind of a ridiculous engraved dragger, which is kind of a funny ploy, kind of play on words. There is the other mix in the back, same exact mix we just looked at. So we're going to crack these open, we'll set them up, and then we'll be right back. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back. Snap of the finger for you, but for me, it took about 15 minutes to get all these taken out of there. They used all those little twisty tie things I absolutely despise. So, Toy Story 2, this is Al's Scenic Cruiser, or whatever kind of cruiser you want to call it. I do believe this is the only time this casting's ever been used. I could be wrong, so if you want to chime in, definitely chime in. But I think this is the only time this casting's ever been used. Of course, it was modeled after the model that was on the movie. So this is an original design, original Pixar design. This is Disney China with this really nice two-tone. It's kind of a cool car. It's kind of a cool car. It's definitely got that 50s flair with the big old fins in the back of it. That's what I got there. Of course, it comes with the Prospector figure, which is painted up pretty nicely. Looks pretty decent. Of course, with this little Prospector deal. I'm just going to move the figures out of here. Don't really care too much about the figures. Comes with the horse, part of Woody's little toy line release. It is his horse that he rides. I forget his name. I don't know what his name is. Also comes with Buzz Lightyear, which doesn't really look like Buzz in the face, but of course the rest of it is 100% Buzz Lightyear. They are painted up relatively well. Not super crazy, but they look okay. This is the cowgirl. I forget her name. It looks pretty accurate to the source material. Again, printed up pretty nice. Details look pretty good. Even all the top of the hat and everything looks pretty decent. These are all China, by the way. And then, of course, Woody himself, which kind of looks like Woody. Not 100%, but it kind of looks like Woody. But, of course, the deco and stuff looks exactly like him. It even has the little sheriff's star printed on there. So, a lot of actual fine print details for that one. So, that one's all right. We're just going to jump into the other Toy Story one because this one's rather interesting. This is from the original Toy Story. This is RC Car. They just used the Baja buggy here. I forget what it's called, but this harkens back to the Blackwell area. You see 1991. Mattel, they just decorated it up like RC Car. Unfortunately, they couldn't give it some red print on the wheels, which would have been a pretty nice little attempt, I guess, to making it the source material. The prints are pretty good on it, though. Other than that, it's pretty straightforward. I mean, you can tell they were trying to be a little bit more budget friendly with that one. I think I might have that one, but of course, Hot Wheels ended up doing one in full premium anyways. All right, so here is the Abomination of Sid. This is made with all kinds of stuff. All the little limbs and stuff, they do move. They're on little whatever you want to call it, little like hinge things and whatnot, so they all move. There is the baby's face with all the hair pulled out of it. It's one eye. It's made out of like erector sets or whatever. The base is kind of interesting. It's got a wheel on here. The wheel is intentionally wobbly. It's just the way it's designed to be wobbly. It's supposed to move. It's supposed to be an action feature. It's supposed to actually move the arms around. You can see it works a little bit. You see the arms move a little bit, but it's like super stiff. It gets caught all the time. It's really not a very good mechanical design in there at all. But the base here is all metal. The rest of it is plastic. So just a little bit of metal here, just enough to hold it down. Everything else is plastic. We'll probably put that Abomination up there, which is interesting. And then it comes with Buzz Lightyear, and of course, it also comes with Woody himself. These are completely different figures than the first ones that we saw. They're actually a little bit bigger scale than the ones we saw. A little bit taller. Same good print and stuff like that. It looks like his eyeballs are a little bit off. It doesn't look like Woody at all. In the face, it just doesn't look like him at all. And neither does this one. That doesn't look like Buzz Lightyear in the face. Kind of looks like Buzz Lightyear. Like, I don't know. I don't want to offend anybody. All right, so we're going to move on to the Reptar. This is for Rugrats. So it has the baby in there. This does have a moving feature. You see there is little pieces inside of those wheels. So when you roll it down, the little arms pop up. It works pretty good. It does what it's supposed to do. For some reason, the one side doesn't pop up as much as the other, but it looks pretty good. It is all plastic, just this itty bitty piece of metal down here. The rest of the entire casting is plastic. It is screwed together, so you can always take it apart if you want to. It does use these spiral wheels. Some pretty good detail to it. There's some additional pieces on top of this one to kind of give it all those color breaks, but there is the print for the baby in there, which looks pretty good. So they actually put a decent amount of effort into it. I'm a little bit bummed out. I'm going to have to probably put this on the side. A little bummed out that there's not more metal in that, unfortunately. And then there is Tommy, the little baby. Looks pretty decent. It doesn't really stand, though. So, like, it falls over every time, no matter what you do. So it does have a base on there. It's supposed to stand up, but it does not work. And then there is Chucky. Maybe his name's Chucky? I don't know. I'm thinking maybe I could be wrong here. I forget his name. Maybe it's Chucky. I don't know. But there he is. He's supposed to be flying. So you would take him and you would attach him to the back here like he's holding on for dear life. So that's what that's for. That's actually a pretty cool little play feature. I guess you can call it a play feature, but it works good. Snaps on there just fine. It stays on there. It doesn't fall down. Doesn't do nothing. That's actually kind of interesting. I'm just going to leave that one. Actually, I think I'll probably keep that one and leave it with the vehicle because that's kind of interesting. Obviously, I'm getting these action packs for just the vehicles. I could care less about the characters themselves. All right, 32 Ford Roadster. This one looks absolutely fantastic in just regular blue. Really, really, really nice. Hotwheels did not make a casting specifically for this pack, but They happen to have one that would work. Does have a little bit of chrome print around the windshield as well. And of course, these are all made in China, so you're going to have China bases on all of these versus Malaysian bases. So a lot cheaper to do it in China. There is your Binford toolbox. Has a tool, couple of drawers opened up. There's a carburetor on the top. Looks pretty good. Some breaker bars, pliers, screwdrivers, all that kind of stuff. Just a simple print that says Binford. Hollow on the inside. The natural color is a little bit darker than Barbie flesh color. It's pretty stout though. It's not like super flimsy, so it's decently stout. I think we'll just leave that on there for now. You get Al. Not Al Bundy, but a different Al, which actually kind of looks like him. If the beard was a little bit better print, it looked just like him, I really feel like. So this one's pretty good. Of course, he does have his plaid shirt on, which is a staple. Prints look pretty good on that. Again, it's just a little figure. Nothing really fancy about it. This is the money one, though. This is the ridiculous Dixie Chopper, brought to you by Staybill. So Staybill is an actual brand fuel stabilizer, but the engine and stuff on the back is ridiculous. It's just got this just ridiculous setup, a little bit of cool print on there. Basically just one giant turbo for the most part. Does utilize that off-road wheel in the back, just regular 5 spokes. The entire base is metal. That's kind of cool. Does have some blade detail in there. So you actually get some simulated cutting action. And then you just sit on there with a couple of joysticks. Kind of looks like a Back to the Future lawnmower to me. And then there is Tim the Toolman Taylor, which is pretty close. It's pretty close. It's definitely not Tim Allen, but it's close. It's close enough, I guess. But, you know, him in his suit and tie and all that kind of stuff like that with his tool belt on. He just sits on here. This was held onto there with your prototypical rubber band. And fortunately, you know, it didn't stick. It didn't tear off any paint or nothing. So there you go. There is Tim the Toolman Taylor. We're definitely going to be holding on to that one. I don't think it'll fit down here. I'll have to put it in the bigger slot, which doesn't quite fit in the bigger slot either. So I guess we'll just put him on the bottom. All right, the last one in the mix, of course, drag racers. These are the just typical, you know, drag whatever. These shoe pieces on the back, they just clip on. So they just clip on the back. These wings are designed to set back a bit. They sit in there in the blister, but then you can move them back so they look more natural. This one happens to be called Grave Dragger, which is totally a ploy on Grave Digger. So looks kind of cool. It just says handy on there. Green interior on this one. Just the little tiny 5-spoke type wheels on there. And then this one has the orange chute, so you just pop the chute on there. It is all hard plastic and stuff, so it's an interesting setup. We'll leave him in the front. And then there is your next one right there. There is the Warrior. Looks pretty good. Quarter Warrior. Bosquet. It's kind of an interesting driver name on there. Kind of red, white, and blue going. This is a hot pink chute piece in the back. This wing sets a little bit better. And notice that in the package. That's pretty much where it should sit. It should sit that far back. If you have the wings back, though, you can't clip the parachutes on. So you see that's as far back as it goes. So a little bit of a design issue, but you know, this was a different era of Hot Wheels. This is the tree. This is one of the reasons why I got this pack, because I kind of wanted the tree. It's pretty straightforward, but it's pretty close to 1/64 scale, so this would work pretty good in a diorama. It's just too bad that basically everything is lit up on it. All your reds, all the green, all your staging lights and everything like that. But, I mean, it's not bad. I'll probably hold on to that particular piece. And then there is the guy winning with the trophy girl, giving him a big old kiss because he's the winner. There is the back. He just has a gold trophy there on the top. Just your prototypical blonde trophy girl. Nothing fancy about that. It's pretty average Joe stuff. All right, a few more Hot Wheels stuff. We're going to be starting to get into something a little bit better. If you guys bared with us this long, appreciate you for sure. Action News Team 5-pack. This is from like 93. 94 maybe. Ooh, 96. I was way off. I've been collecting these, by the way. This is like my new thing right now. Mega Rig sets. And please don't ask me to do anything with those Mega Rigs on the channel, because those literally are kids play sets, and my channel is not geared towards kids, and I'm trying to keep it that way. So I try to keep the play sets off the channel, because YouTube has their own algorithms they run, and when they run the algorithms, they run the algorithms. All right, I bought this entire pack for this guy. This is the 3-spoke version of the Combat Medic Action News. I had the 5-spoke version. I did not have the 3-spoke version, so got the whole pack just for this wheel variation. Just that guy. So we're going to throw that guy up in there. Nothing fancy. It does come with the helicopter, the Olds Aurora, the Jeep, which is not the real Jeep. It's the Roll Patrol Jeep. And then the Kenworth rig down in there in the bottom. It's just nothing different with these. Those are all standard fare. Just the Combat Medic had a wheel variation. Set this to the side real quick. All right, one of the, I think I missed this one. I think I missed this one in the G case. I just don't remember having this. So if I'm cracking this open again, I do apologize. I just don't remember pulling out the minecart. This is the 15th anniversary Minecraft minecart. It's printed on all 4 sides. Looks pretty good. It does use that Aeroglade kind of style wheel. It holds the figures on the inside. That is nice soft plastic. So if you get the little Minecraft figures, you can put them in there and roll them around. T02 is the mark on that one. Some older Hot Wheels here. This is another version of the Combat Medic I did not have. So there was 2 versions released of this Vroom Deco. I didn't have this one. I think the other one was, I want to say like a red or orange kind of wheel or something, and this one's blue. I don't know. I don't remember exactly, but I didn't have this one. Hot Wheels art cars from back in the day. It says POW on the side, kind of a Batman kind of thing. POW, Crash, Vroom. This is for number A, or letter A. My apologies. Just some question marks on the side. Just pretty standard fare. This was the model that didn't have not have any opening doors. That one up there does still have opening doors. If you get a premium, the premium ones do have opening doors as well. All right, a older 3-spoke or 3-wheel, the Blastus. This is one of the earlier releases. It's not a new edition, but one of the earlier releases. Been doing a little bit of more motorcycles and stuff lately, so I happened to come across the Blastus. I have a couple versions of these, mainly just from the Cycles series, not really from the main lines, but just uses standard wheels in the back. Super chopper front end, basically the exact same front end as the Blast Lane, but just in a trike setup, which looks pretty good. This one just has some yellow, black, and a little bit of orange-ish. I guess maybe it's just a yellow. Look at that. Right out of the package, there's a big old chip on the back of it. Gotta love Hot Wheels quality. So right out of the package, there's a chip in there. Carbonator. I always find it hard to believe there's still versions of the Carbonator that I don't have. I have like 30 different versions of this, but I didn't have this one. This one is from the 50th anniversary year, the Lemon Cherry Carbonator, or Xpera Motors. It's just the same Carbonator we've been seeing for bazillions and bazillions of years. But this one looks good in lemon and cherry. I like the base color. It's definitely different. Obviously, this is a literal bottle cap opener. You can literally crack open your brewskis with it, or your real soda bottles with it too, if you shall want to do that, depending on how old you are. Another motorcycle here, Street Stealth. This is one of the first editions. I think there was 2 colors that came out that year, but Street Stealth. So again, just kind of attacking some motorcycles this year. If you guys have seen, I've had quite a few motorcycles throughout my diecast hauls this year. This one is pretty nice. It's all metal base, and then the fairings and stuff on the top is plastic. There is the print on the side. It looks pretty good. I actually like this one. It's a generic. It's not real, but it's very interesting. Not a big fan of like the front, like, you know, I guess you could call it the headlight area, but it looks pretty good sitting there. All right, this one's a pretty good one. I've been hunting down a lot of these 92 M3s. They've used this casting for some tough versions. This casting is the one that's in the Supreme hauler. They also did a road race version of this in the road racing premium set before premium was premium, which was a Canada only release. That one's super tough to get. It's a $100 plus car. But other than that, I am working my way through. We will get a cream colored one of these this year in, I think it's in the H case, maybe the J case. But we do have one coming again this year. This one looks pretty good. Red, got your M colors here on the side. The black PR5s with just some chrome print around the outside. I do like that casting a lot. That's such a good casting. I'm like super hooked on that casting. All right, the last Hot Wheels item I have, yes, Elite64. I did drop a video about this. We've talked about Elite64 here and there. I'm particularly excited about this one. This is a little bit more up my alley. But I'm still not sold on Elite64 itself. Again, I still think, even though they're trying to be, you know, variety and whatnot, they still don't have an identity. Still has these really, really nice blisters, these double-sided blisters. This one is number 10. Of course, that Bugatti is super, super small. There is your deets on the back. A little bit of information there, 33 to 36. A Doc 16-valve supercharged straight 8. So that looks super, super cool. So let's go ahead and just get this guy cracked out of there. Bugatti Type 59. Get that separated. This one does have a functioning feature. I wouldn't necessarily say it's opening per se. It's more of a removable or removed type of thing. For some reason, yes, I hold on to these. I'm not really sure why, but I do. So we'll set that to the side. All right, there is our Bugatti Type 59. Of course, all new parts here. Everything's new. It's a new casting. A little bit of print on the back. 835 T59 for Type 59. Prints on the side look good. Prints on the front look pretty good. Does have a Bugatti symbol right there in the front. I really like the wheels. The tread looks good as well. Really nice details on that side. That is a additional part on there. The print on there. Print on the inside. All the way down into the interior. Looks fantastic. And then the hood. Let's see how the hood comes off, because I think... Here we go. Just lift the hood off and it comes off. There is your supercharged straight 8. This thing is actually pretty ridiculously cool. See all those individual pipes coming off for the exhaust. Print down in there looks fantastic. A little bit of print on the windshield as well. Engine looks good. See down into there. That's actually pretty impressive. That's pretty impressive. So definitely like that. As far as the hood goes, it is metal. Which actually, nope. Oh yeah, it is metal. Yeah, it's metal. It looks interesting. The prints and stuff look pretty good on it, but the louvers and stuff are, you know, as long as you know what you're looking at, it's fine. But they don't quite bring the grasp in there. The hood just sits right there on the top. Nothing fancy, but it looks pretty good. Same print on the back on the other side. And then there is the base deets, Bugatti Top 59. Of course, it's made in China. I'm sure it's cheaper to make these in China than it is to make them in Malaysia. I mean, this thing is super tiny. That thing's pretty cool. I think this is my new favorite Elite64. I really like the Mustang, but I'm going out there. That's definitely my new favorite Elite64. That one's actually pretty good. All right, one thing that's an oddball brand, we do have a Boley here, a Boley truck. This is an international 187 scale, HO scale, Department 187. These were sold at Walmart at one point in time, and then they became hobby things. You can still find these at hobby stores nowadays. There is, I think it's going to be all plastic. I don't think there is any die-cast. Oh, there is some die-cast on here. But typically they are mostly plastic. So it is a die-cast body. It looks good. Prints look good on it. Not meant to be necessarily a toy. Not necessarily meant to be played with. This is meant for diorama setups and stuff like that, or just flat out collecting. A little bit of chevron details back there on the mud flaps. Looks pretty good. Details on the back. A little bit of print on the top there for some fake diamond plating. And of course you do have your 5th wheel hitch on there. Looks pretty good. Actually rotates and rocks. And then steering wheel on the inside. It's actually a pretty good model. It's actually a little bit more detailed than I remember them being, which is pretty nice. Looks like the chassis is metal as well, but all the bits and stuff on the outside of it are all plastic. Good old plastic. It looks pretty good. I'm gonna fit in there. Gonna fit in there. Yeah. Oop, there we go. Sweet, sweet. Looks good. All right, switching over to Matchbox. We're gonna roll out the haul with Matchbox. This is, I think this is a code 2, which means it's authorized by Matchbox, but it's not necessarily produced by them. I think is what code 2 is, and then code 3 is not authorized or produced by Matchbox, and of course code 1 is produced by the manufacturer. I think it's a code 2. I kind of debated whether or not I wanted to put this in the collection or not. There is the deets on the back. 1994 Matchbox Toys, Shinoda Apple Blossom Festival, but I don't really care. I'm just going to throw it in the system because it's a Viper. It's a good old Viper. And you can see it's just white, so you can see it's color comp is where it came from. So get this out of there. Oh, you know what? Look at that. Look at that. Oop, oop, oop. Oh, almost. Oop. Come on, camera. Really? Are you kidding me? All right, look at that. That International comes with little tiny stickers you're supposed to put on the mud flap, so I'm going to set that to the side. Can't believe I almost missed that. I would have really been bummed out to not have that detail. All right, so there is the Viper. There is the details on there. 69th. Sorry, it's from 1997, 1996. There you go. May 2nd to the 5th, 1996. Of course, just a color comp sample, which is basically they just sold the models in just solid white, and then they could print anything they wanted on there. So they're official Matchbox models, but the print itself is what makes it a code 2. So you know what, I'm just going to put that guy right there. It's really nothing fancy with that. All right, I do have a row release BMW 850i. This was a row only release. Details in the back. This is Matchbox Toys. Series 10. So I didn't have this one, so be a little bit gentle when I open these. I do keep the boxes as well, but I am going to take all these boxes to the gathering this year, and I'm going to try to get rid of all of them. So if you ever wanted a whole ton of empty Matchbox boxes, which includes all the other ones too, not the window boxes too, just the regular ones as well, I'm bringing all that stuff down there, so be my guest to scoop them up. All right, 850i. This one is pretty dusty, pretty like, I don't know, debris inside that package. Needs to be cleaned up a little bit, but it's just standard kind of candy red. No prints or nothing on it whatsoever, all the way around. No prints at all. Needs to be washed up a little bit. China base on this one. This one does have opening doors. It's a pretty cool casting. It's all metal as well. Metal body, metal base. Just standard plastic interior with clear windows. And then the 5-spoke wheels with some suspension in there. Always a good one. I don't know why that one has so much debris. It needs to be cleaned up, but we'll get it cleaned up later on. A little bit older one. This is the cattle truck. I do have quite a few versions of these, but I don't have this particular version. This one does come with the light tan livestock there in the back, 2 of them. The red tinted window, and of course the black base. So if you guys saw me crack open the twin packs I did previously, I might have done those on a haul. I don't know if I did those on a separate video or not. But anyways, the twin pack one was a raw metal base, not a black painted base. So there's differences there. And then of course there's a ton of differences to the color of the stakes on the back of the bed. Or this good old, it's a Dodge cattle truck, by the way. So super fast era. So we'll just kind of put that guy right there. We're not going to get too fancy with the placement of the models. I got another older one too. This is the Chevy stock car. This one's also covered with like all kinds of debris. I don't know what I got on these, But this one's sealed. Well, it was sealed. It's not sealed anymore. I got this one for a variation, though. This is a variation I didn't have. This one is MB34, by the way. And then the cattle truck is MB71. So this one is the Lightning 34, which is pretty standard, but this one is a red base. So there's red base, and then there's a Zamek base, kind of a metal-ish base, which is the one that I had, if I remember correctly. I'm pretty sure it's that. But this one has the red base, which is pretty nice. Always nice to get some variations that you don't find too often. This casting's not all that great, but it is solid metal, which looks pretty good. This one, unfortunately, has a little bit of spray issue there on the bumper. A little bit of quality issue, but it's fine. It came right from the package. It is what it is. Can't win them all. But, again, how about that suspension, though? All right, this one is the newest window box one. This one is pretty nice. This one is not glued shut. That is the Australian release exclusive number 7 62 Corvette. This was only released in Australia. They did a bunch of Australian specific models. I have quite a few of them. They've done. They did like a tank, and they did F-150 flare side and some other stuff, and of course, you know, their Falcons and stuff like that. I really like this one, though. This one looks good. This is an old school casting. China base on this one. Harkens back to the Lesney era. Just says 62 on it, 62 on it, and 62 on it, and then a couple of white stripes on it. It is red. It might look a little dull on the screen, but it is red. But this one looks pretty good. So throw this guy down in the mix. And then the stuff we're going to roll out with, I do have a slew of Indy cars. Posted these up on my Insta. I don't have all of these, but came across these for relatively cheap. So we're going to go ahead and add these. I do have that transporter there in the back, the black one. And then some details here. This is from, let's say this is from like 90... let's see here. Do we have a date on this one? Oh, you know, it's on the front. It's on the front. Could have swore it was on the front. I guess not. It's either 92 or 93, somewhere around there. Early 90s, though. It's weird that it doesn't have a thing on there. But anyways, let's go ahead and crack this open. These are pretty cool. They're not necessarily like licensed from like racing cars, but they're inspired by them. So it's kind of an interesting mix. This one just says Indy on it, Goodyear on the wings, Simpson on there, Goodyear. Number 11 does have that nice big special 620 racing wheel on it, and then the 8-dot era style of wheels. There is the deets on the bottom. Used under license for kart and Indy 500 racer. They kind of took the name of the model off of there on their own and added it on for purposes. They also came with this fake coin. It's just plastic. This one happens to be Indianapolis 500 1911 winner with a speed of 74.602 mile an hour. That is ridiculous. And then there is the deets on the back, just an Indianapolis 500. Set those to the side because definitely not going to keep those. Another one we got here. This one is Valvoline number 5. Some of these cards are different, so we'll see if I can pull the manufacturing or copyright date on it on a different one. This one is the 1987 winner, Al Unser, 4-time winner. They're in the Penske, I'm sorry. Still yellow though. There is Valvoline, looks pretty good. Again, not a specific driver, not specific license or anything, but they are inspired by F1 and IndyCar and all that good stuff like that. Looks pretty good. Just another version of that exact casting, so just adding more to it. Then we actually move into the actual F1 racer. So this is not an IndyCar, but it's all right. It's all right. See, this card's different. This card's a little bit different. Details down at the bottom. See if there's a date on there. There's not. So I don't know if all of this stuff was released. I know all of these were released. I have the Peterbilt tanker. I already have the Alante. So just going through what's left here. Pull out the next one. This one happens to be 1965 first rear engine winner. Looks pretty good. Jim Clark. Set that to the side. This one is done up for Panasonic. Got smooth operator. It says Buick on the side. PPG paints. Looks pretty good. There's been quite a few different changes to this casting over the years. The wings have changed and stuff like that. So a little bit fluid, I guess you can say, with that particular release. We do have Pennzoil. This is probably what I was thinking of, Pennzoil. We'll go ahead and get this crack out of here. This is Pennzoil number 4. We do have a Pennzoil number 5 as well. This one is 1966 50th Indy winner at a speed of 144.317. So in 50 years, they doubled their speed. This is the Pennzoil one. Looks pretty good. It says number 4 on there. There's a Chevy symbol indicating it is Chevy powered, GM powered. Bosch there on the front as well. Pennzoil on the wing. Goodyear Eagles. All of these particular versions of these F1 castings are the same version, the same casting version. So there won't be any casting changes between the two. There is the next Pennzoil. Oh, it's number 2, not number 5. At number 4 and number 2. So here is the littlest blister ever. There we go. See how little that blister is? It's basically just as tall as the car. So it's pain in the butt to get that out of there. All right, this one actually kind of matches. Actually, this one matches the other car we just looked at. Number 4 there, 5-time pole position winner, Rick Mears, 1989. I was just a kid back then. There is number 2. It is almost the exact same deco as the previous one, just number 2. You got your Chevy symbol here instead of on the side. But still same red interiors, although this one is a much darker red interior than the previous one. This one is super cool. This one is like a patriotic tribute car for, I think, the 76th running. I think this is for the 76th running, you know, because 1776 here in the U.S. There's the same exact one, 1911. We've already seen. There it is there, number 76, Indy on there. Looks fantastic. I really, really like this one a lot. That one's super cool. Bosch and Simpson on there. Kind of interesting that they chose to use an F1 car. And it's very obvious that it's not a kart and it's not Indy, but they let them use it anyways, so it's kind of interesting. And then there's this one here. This one also came in the transporter set. That's Super King's transporter. This one also came in that particular set. See if we can get the car, the blister, to cooperate. There we go. Get the coin out. See what coin we got for this one. This one is 1977 first 4-time winner, AJ Foyt. So getting some bigger heavy hitters here as we move through. This one's kind of more of a tribute one as well. Just kind of straightforward. I feel like maybe Matchbox didn't have the capability or the money to get all the licenses that they wanted particularly. They probably had a license with Kart to produce models, but as far as like the actual liveries and references and likenesses and stuff, they just probably could not get the licenses to run that stuff. I'll make some space here. All right, and the very last model in the whole haul, the whole mix for number 56. There we go. I was trying to get it out of there. This is another one of those older F1 cars as well. This one is Krakow. Not really sure what that is. I'm sure it's some type of brand. So we'll get that popped out of there. Very last model for Hall 56. Another one of the first rear engine winners. So not a whole lot of variations to the coins. That's unfortunate. But there is your Krakow. It says Otter Pops on the side. So this one's a little bit more involved. But again, no driver names or nothing like that. There is a number on there though, number 18. Same as the first couple of castings that we looked at. These bigger boys there. So we'll put this guy in the back. And there you go. That is Diecast haul number 56. It's an alright mix. I'll be honest with you, it's not that great of a mix. but it's very different, and sometimes I like the different stuff versus the volume stuff. So, anyways, we're gonna roll out. Let me know what you guys think about those. Let me know if you guys know how many total releases they did with the F1 cars. So I want to see if I can complete that set now that I have a giant head start with it. But anyways, we're gonna roll out. Appreciate you guys as always. LevelMDiecast. Peace.